Right now at noon, after several weather-related cancellations, the Madison Metropolitan School District shares its plans to make up for lost classroom time. And it's been 1 year since the deadliest high school shooting in America. Join us as we remember the lives lost 12 months ago in Parkland, Florida.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now on this Thursday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in just a bit. But first, let's head over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield has a look at our first alert forecast, sort of a Valentine from Mother Nature.
Yeah, with temperatures this warm, I guess someone remembered to get Mother Nature flowers and chocolates on today's date of Valentine's Day. We do have a few flurries trying to pop up across southern Wisconsin, but they're not reaching the ground just yet. As we head later into the afternoon and evening, the chance of some rain and snow showers goes up a little bit. So pretty quiet on Doppler track. A few flurries are showing up to the north of us. We have clouds with us, but that's not stopping temperatures from reaching 40 degrees already at the noon hour. South wind at 11 miles per hour. It does feel a little bit more like 33 degrees, but we're in the 40s in Mineral Point, Janesville, and Monroe, Waukesha as well, and Watertown. Still in the mid-30s in Boscobel and Lone Rock, but still above normal for this time of year. Wind speeds are starting to increase. The cold front is getting closer and closer, and so temperatures will remain in the upper 30s and low 40s this afternoon. But look at how we are acting like the Beatles and falling as we get into this evening and the overnight hours. Wind chills could feel like -5 to -15 as we wake up on Friday, so don't get used to these milder afternoon temperatures. We will talk about our next chance of accumulating snow in your News 3 Now First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
So a one-day reprieve.
Yes, 1 day. We get 1 day to celebrate and then back to normal.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes. Thank you, Dave. And we now know how students will make up the school days in the Madison Metropolitan School District. Administrators released the plan today. They've added 2 more school days for students, March 18th and June 12th, along with extra minutes to the school day. The district outlined details of its plan on its website. We have shared that with you on Channel3000.com as well. Traffic is still down to 1 lane heading south on the interstate. You're looking live at I-3990 at the Beltline. We will momentarily. The closure, there it is. It stretches about 2 miles from that area heading down toward Rock County. This is all for emergency repairs. The Department of Transportation is calling it extreme road failure, including potholes and deteriorating roads. The ramp from the Beltline onto the southbound interstate is also closed this morning. Those lanes repairs expected to last through the day, so take that into account for your drive home from work. Middleton police are looking for a man who approached a 9-year-old walking home from school. The incident happened around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon in the 6600 block of Franklin Avenue. Police say the man asked the boy if he wanted to go to his house. The boy left the area without having further interaction with the man. Police are asking anyone with information on the incident or maybe have some home surveillance video to call 608-824-7300. And this Valentine's Day is a day of service and love at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Today marks 1 year since the shooting that left 14 students and 3 staff members dead. Adriana Diaz reports.
The community of Parkland is remembering all the lives lost 1 year ago at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. A sign at the school is encouraging students to be positive, passionate, and proud. Some spent the morning with first responders and visiting with service dogs. Linda Beagle-Shulman lost her 35-year-old son, who was a teacher at the school.
I walked down the path today, and it was just like reliving last year when we walked down the path.
The school has beefed up security, adding more than 100 new cameras and doubling its security staff to 18. But students like senior Alea Eastman are demanding more.
Our lives depend on you. Our lives are in your hands.
She told her story on Capitol Hill last week.
When the gunman shot into our classroom, Nicholas Dorett was in front of me. As Nicholas fell, I matched his every movement and hid underneath his lifeless body.
Last year, there was a memorial here with crosses and stars of David representing the lives lost. But now the community has made a garden. Students and parents of victims say they're getting strength from the community, but also through activism. But national legislative change has been modest. Congress hasn't passed any new federal gun control laws, but has passed legislation allowing states and federal agencies to better share mental health and criminal records. States, including Florida, have passed 66 gun control bills. At least 7 states expanded background checks. A Florida commission investigating the shooting made dozens of recommendations last month, including metal detectors and so-called hard corners where students can hide. The district says it's adopted more than half of the recommendations so far. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Parkland, Florida.
And we will have more on the services taking place to honor the victims of last year's shooting this afternoon on Live at 4. Well, Congress will vote on a bill today to fund the government before another potential shutdown goes into effect tomorrow night. Late last night, the House introduced a 1,100-page funding bill. It includes nearly $1.4 billion for fencing along the Mexican border, but far less than the $5.7 billion President Trump had demanded. Congressional leaders are confident it will pass. The president has not committed if he will sign the bill or not. He could try to use executive action to fund the rest of the wall funding, though some Republicans and most Democrats oppose that option. And with less than a week until this month's primary election, all Dane County voters will have access to ballots in Spanish. Currently, the town of Madison is the only jurisdiction in the county to offer Spanish ballots, so next week's vote will be historic for the county. If you or someone you know needs a bilingual ballot, voters simply need to select their language of choice on the voting machines, similar to how it works at an ATM. You can vote in the spring election on February 19th. That's this coming Tuesday. Early voting is already underway. And there's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Valentine's Day, and we've got something sweet for you to share with your someone special. Stick around. Happy Valentine's Day. You did remember, didn't you? For those of you who forgot, there's no reason to run out the door in hopes of finding the perfect candy for your sweetheart. We've got a recipe for salted caramel toffee that's just a thing your sweetheart is gonna love. They won't even think you almost forgot. Watch how easy. We line a baking pan with parchment paper and cover it with broken pretzel pieces. We set that aside and bring some butter and brown sugar to a boil. While it's simmering, do not stir it. After about 3 minutes, pour it over the pretzels and bake it off. Be careful, this is gonna be molten hot. After it bakes, sprinkle on some chocolate chips, and once they're melted, spread them over the toffee base. A little sea salt goes over this, and we let it cool. Now we break it into pieces and wrap it up for that someone special, or bring the whole thing to work or to your neighbor's house and let everyone dig in. If homemade candy doesn't say I love you, what does? To get the recipe for our salted chocolate pretzel toffee, all you have to do is hop on our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a romantic homemade way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. In just a few minutes, we're going to meet our pet of the week, and we could see some light rain and snow later today. Dave joins us after the break with the first alert forecast. There was a big drop in retail sales recently, and this Valentine's Day may be one for the dogs. Here's Diane King Hall with today's Money Watch report.
Shopping carts were empty in December. According to the Commerce Department, retail sales fell 1.2%. That is the biggest drop since September of 2009. And it wasn't just brick and mortar retailers that suffered. E-commerce sales also saw a decline. Some sweet news for Nestle. The company reported a 3% increase in organic sales growth in 2018. Nestle also earned $10 billion. Better performance in the U.S. and China helped boost results. The uptick is a good sign for the Kit Kat and Nescafe maker, which has been working to revamp business after struggling to align with changing consumer tastes. J.D. Power is out with its list of most reliable cars in America. For the 8th year in a row, the survey found Lexus is the most dependable brand. Porsche and Toyota tied for second, followed by Chevrolet and Buick. The worst performers were Fiat, Land Rover, Volvo, and Dodge. And pet owners may be choosing furry friends over human companions this Valentine's Day. According to pet insurance company Trupanion, 45% of respondents will get their pets a gift. But those gifts can be costly. Since 2012, the insurance company has paid more than $20,000 in Valentine's Day related injuries. The #1 offender is chocolate. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
All right, Diane, thank you. At the noon hour, the Dow Industrials down 44 points. The NASDAQ, however, managed to gain 21. The S&P 500 is down fractionally. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee. No chocolate for your boys on this Valentine's Day.
And I have lectured many a person near my pups about that one, yeah. So, I don't know, maybe I'll still swing by and get them a little something to chew on that is safe for them this afternoon.
A little dog treat?
Yeah, something like that. I can definitely see where those trends come in, at least in play in my household. So today what they're going to get is a little stroll around the neighborhood. That I think all of us can enjoy with this respite from the weather. We're not getting a break from the constant news about what's happening between the United States and China. Now everybody's all up in arms. It sounds like the president's going to push off that March deadline for at least another month so he can meet with President Xi. That's got the market up in arms. Overnight, China released some of the data about how much they have been exporting, and it was disappointing to say the least. They're down about 18% as far as their GDP, depending on whose numbers you look at. That hit the market with a thump this morning, and we haven't been able to really rebound too much. This is traditionally a time of the year when we will see very sluggish markets and hit some of our lows. But, when we start falling below $4 on new crop corn and beans, we're double digits lower on the midday. That's not the kind of news that farmers want to try to plan their 2019 on. The other thing we got to remember is, although it sounds like they're going to be able to forego another government shutdown, they got to get with it in Washington, D.C. and get the farm bill details done. We've got a crop insurance deadline that farmers have to deal with by March 15th, and so many items and decisions are kind of based on what happened in the farm bill, but we don't have any of that implemented yet. So it is going to be a race to the finish. March 15th is normally our crop insurance deadline. We'll wait and see if they have to add some kind of extension on that. And today in Chicago, barrel cheese unchanged at $1.43.5. 40-pound block cheese dropped $0.0125 to $1.58. Double A butter up $0.0125 today at $2.25 a pound. But as you see, fluid milk contracts, after gaining ground yesterday, giving it all back today. We just cannot get a clear path going here with what's going to happen between the United States and China. The doggonest part about it, Mark, is all the real fighting is over the intellectual property and the technology. Agriculture is just getting caught in the crosshairs. So,
yeah, that's the way it seems.
Good thing the weather department can give us something redeeming on this day.
Yes, get out and enjoy this afternoon while you can. Thank you,
absolutely.
Pam. And Dave is standing by. A brief respite from the cold.
Yeah, and we deserve it after all we've experienced over the past month or so. 30 inches of snow in 30 days in Madison, getting our snow totals for the year up to 40.7. We're actually running about 5 inches of snow above normal for this time of year, and that's a change from the last 4 years or so when we finished well below normal in the snowfall department. Our last time above normal was 2013 to 2014, where we received just about 60 inches of snow. Now, how much of that snow that we received is still on the ground? We've lost a little bit of it, as you would expect, with temperatures already in the 40s for some of us for southern Wisconsin, but still we have about 3 to 6 inches pretty much southern Wisconsin wide, more as you head to the north and west. Doppler track showing a few flurries and light snow showers trying to break out across Wisconsin. Pretty much unsuccessful so far, with a lot of this not hitting the ground just yet. We could see that cold front on the way, starting to move closer to the Twin Cities. This will continue to push to the south and east as we head into the evening hours. So our temperatures will actually go up a little bit before they come crashing down this evening into the overnight hours. So this afternoon's temperatures, it's a good Valentine's Day, but it's going to feel like we all forgot Valentine's Day as we get into the evening and overnight hours with these temperatures coming crashing down. Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. We do have the clouds in town, and we have the clouds in town as well. On the Edgewater Skycam in Madison, you would expect that with temperatures being this warm over that cold snowpack, but there are some areas, I should say, of patchy fog this early afternoon. 43 in Janesville, though. It feels pretty nice outside with 40 in Madison, 41 in Mineral Point, 38 in Platteville. Our visibility has actually gone up over the last hour, so not too much patchy fog to talk about, maybe a little bit closer to southwestern Wisconsin and La Crosse. Wind speed's not too bad, although starting to increase out of the south with that cold front getting closer and closer at about 8 to 15 miles per hour. So on this Valentine's Day, here is your forecast as we head into the next couple of hours. So this afternoon, we're looking at temperatures hanging out in the 40s, and then we'll be falling through the 30s and 20s. We do have a chance of seeing some rain and snow showers during the afternoon and evening hours. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. On future track, the wind's not too bad right now, but watch what happens as that cold front gets closer. Could be gusting about 20 to 30 miles per hour as that front comes through. On future track, we're noticing things getting a little bit chillier as we head into the evening hours. You can see that snow is getting closer and closer, but really not making too much of an impact on southern Wisconsin. Maybe a few flurries, a few rain and snow showers possible, but really nothing that we're going to notice all that much. We will notice the cool down tomorrow, starting off in the single digits with wind chills of -5 to -15 possible, and temperatures will be much colder on Friday with highs in the upper teens. As we take a look at that 7 to 10 day forecast, our next chance of seeing some minor snow accumulations comes on Sunday with highs in the mid-20s, and we're pretty quiet for much of next week with a few chances for snow here and there. But it does look like Mother Nature is taking a bit of a chill pill as we head into the rest of February.
All right, we need a break.
Yes.
All right, Dave, thank you. We'll be right back with our Pet of the Week. Stay tuned. Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here with our pet of the week. Good to see you, Marissa.
Good to see you too.
Tell us about this guy here.
Well, this is Walker, and we're hoping that on this Valentine's Day, you might fall in love with this handsome hound here.
So what's his story?
So Walker is about 1.5 years old, so just a young guy, and he just came up last week from an overcrowded shelter down in Mississippi.
And he's a little skinny.
He is a little skinny, so this is full grown for Walker at 1.5 years, but we're hoping that maybe he'll fill out a little bit more.
Sort of a hound mix of some sort.
Yep. But what I absolutely love about Walker, you can just see, he is just one of those loving souls. He's just so mellow, but being a bigger guy and younger guy, he is still looking for a home that can get him out, be nice and active, maybe a nice backyard to run around
Yeah,
in.
he's a hound. He's going to need to run. All right. And you have another guest today.
We do. We're excited to have Katie here with us from Mounds to talk about People for Pets, which they're running for to benefit Dane County Humane Society all month.
Yes, so throughout the month of February, 10% of all pet food sales up to $75,000 will be donated to the Dane County Humane Society. And then on our 50th anniversary, we brought a goodie bag for Walker for his new family.
So if you adopt Walker, you get
a whole goodie bag full of treats and toys and food, and so. Yeah.
And you're a huge supporter of Dane County Humane Society.
Yes.
Tell us why it's so important to you.
Well, it's just kind of the whole premise of Mounds. Like, we want to get back to the community, and our relationship with the Dane County Humane Society has been ongoing for, I don't even know, 20, 30 years at this point, for sure. So that's part of what we do and why we do it, is to get back to the community.
And Marissa, what does it mean to the Humane Society, this commitment?
It means so much. Mounds supports us in so many different ways, including People for Pets and their adoption centers that they have at their locations. They've just been a wonderful supporter, and they understand the need in our community to be able to support animals that need the help the most.
$75,000, that's a huge commitment.
It is. We're almost halfway there, last time I checked, so hopefully we'll get an update in the next, well, tomorrow, Friday.
So if you have a pet,
yeah.
you need food, go to Mounds, help the Humane Society. Last week's pet.
At last week's pet, we had our couple of bunnies in.
All right.
We had Knox and Nova. There those cuties are. And they are still looking for a great home. And remember, February is Adopt a Rabbit month, so half off on all those rabbit adoption fees.
And they have to go together.
They do have to go together. They are great sisters.
Let's get Walker home. You get a gift bag from Mounds. Katie, thanks for coming out today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
We'll see you on Monday. And here is Dave with one final check of the forecast.
All right, Mark, temperatures are already in the 40s for some of us across southern Wisconsin. So this afternoon will be pretty mild with highs in the 40s. And as we head into the later portions of the afternoon and evening, we do have a chance of seeing a few rain and snow showers. Shouldn't impact us too much colder as we head into Friday.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you back here at 4. See you then.